is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
I guess starting just because I know it's an emotional thing and a nice story. Marcus coming back and doing what he did in his first game in front of fans since January.
Number one, it's what Marcus does by nature. But like I said, just the start of camp, he was practicing in San Francisco, and you can tell he had that kind of look, where it was, sort of he was wanting to get back to where he was, how he was playing, whether it was last summer league and even, spot minutes when he played earlier in the season. So it was great to see him back there. I mean, he is just when he gets between those lines, he's a tough competitor, and obviously he lifted us up a lot. So just great to have him back.
We know defensively Marcus is obviously very good, but offensively, where have you seen growth, especially him as a forward?
He made some really good plays. Yeah, he's still growing. We continue to put the ball in his hands, but he made some really good plays. And he's got a good mind. He's a quiet kid, but he's he's astute in terms of the game. He's got a good feel. And he's just going to continue to keep growing. He's, the plays he made, he had some really, really good ones in the first half. In the second half, I have confidence with the ball in his hands.
I know with Mike it's about more than a three-point shooting, but it's something he also does very well. What was it like to see him finally, after being uneven in San Francisco, getting on track?
Yeah, he was due. But the big thing with Mike, too, was, he really did make a lot of great plays. And that's all I just kind of kept stressing to him. He made some, throughout the course. I know he wanted some shots to fall, but he's made some really great plays for us. Hopefully, we just keep shrinking the gap between the two with his, because he's going to draw attention because, he's a little ignitable, and he can make some shots. And like I said, the ability to see the defense and make some plays also, it's just a big, big plus for our offense. Because like I said, he helps other guys out on the floor for us, for sure.
Your thoughts on Orlando Robinson?
I thought he played well. I thought he played really well. He's, to be honest with you, I think he's really had a good, it's obviously early, when he's playing, but I thought he's had a really good camp and a couple games. He's growing. And today he just, it's just like you keep putting in the work, day by day in terms of getting adjusted to our level and, playing a little different style where he's used to having the ball sort of come find him all the time. And he's really adjusting to it well because he draws attention, or he's got good soft hands. He can catch and finish. So and he's got some skill too that's going to keep developing as he goes.
For a young guy, he's not timid out there. He's pretty aggressive.
No, he's confident. He's confident. He's just learning. But and that's where most of our guys are. You know what I'm saying? So. He's been really good, and it was nice to see him. He had a big impact on the game for sure.
Nikola had the one shot. What would you point to as kind of why maybe he wasn't as involved as Mike?
I think that again it's adjusting for him, and we'll find more ways to get him involved. It's just adjusting to the sort of speed and physicality a little bit of the game, but he'll get there. He'll get there. This is it's going to be a process with him. It's not going to come right away. He has to be steady. I am going to. I know what it's going to look like, in terms of his development and how it's going to keep evolving, because he's got so much skill and potential. I mean, even he made the one great spray to the corner, those small things that you just see, wow, it was a really great play that a lot of guys can't make. He just has to keep growing and adjusting to the speed and physicality, especially summer league, because you got all these hungry guys out here, and this is great for him, in a lot of ways.
Is he thinking more out there? More
I think so. No, I think so. It's similar. We talked about it's the adjustment is the ball's. Is how you keep evolving in terms of finding ways to get yourself involved as well. Some of that is just speed and finding ways to, teams are going to switch. And now it's, learning now how to make the adjustment and how to play versus those. in those situations, in those pockets that are going to help him. Because once he gets the ball in his hands, he's a great playmaker.
Is it more about, when you talk about the physical nature of it and his assignments out there, is it a drastic change for him in what kind of game he's playing now compared to where he came from? I'd be lying to you if I sit here and said, yeah, because I watched some. Like, I haven't watched that many games. I've watched some. It's just, how we play, in terms of our threes and our fours, because it's like this, going to the three. I mean, our threes and our fours and even our twos sometimes, like, they're doing the same things versus the switches. That's, so he'll adjust and he'll get there. I don't want him to, like, overthink or anything like that. Like, he'll be fine.
How do you see Mike take the next step in his game?
He just keep being confident. Like I said, he's done really good things. Like, he's done really good things for us. So it's just, the ball hasn't gone in as much. That's all. Like, and I know that he's a guy who can really, really shoot it. But I've just been happy with him continuing to play and make plays, for others and do other things, not just sort of catch and shoot and get caught in that web. And that's helped him. I don't know if he knows it subconsciously, but, those are touches, you know what I mean? And those are just other ways to stay involved in the game. And he stayed the course. He had a great day of practice yesterday. His spirit has been great. He's been frustrated at times with himself, but, when he comes back every day, his spirit's great. And that's, there's something to be said for that, because I know how bad he wants to play really, really well. And he just has a great opportunity to continue to do so from here.
When you guys are evaluating the team, is that kind of stuff that, those little things that you're talking about, is that more important than the final stat line when you guys are evaluating sort of these individual players?
Yeah, I mean, because you always are looking at how guys may develop into something, but, you got to be able to do the little things because in order to play with Bam and Jimmy and Kyle, you know what I mean? Like, you got to be able to contribute in those ways, and those guys are going to hold your feet to the fire if you do get that opportunity. That opportunity does come in December and January. And you just ask Omer about that. You know what I mean? And he's a prime example. And then all of a sudden, you start to realize how much that stuff matters. And then when you see how much it matters, you start to play better. So the more you can get on it and grasp that in your mind, the better off you're going to be, with us. So we're happy grinding games. I love to score 120 as much, but we're happy grinding games too with the little things.